That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Comic Reviews. I've got a fairly good-sized stack of books this week. Though you'll have seen this in the thumbnail. And unfortunately I'm not going to talk about it, because this is number 2 of 5, so sadly I did not get the first issue. I just didn't jump on soon enough for that, but hopefully I'll get the next issue next week. And I'll talk about the first 2 then. Or maybe, since it's just a 5-parter, I'll wait till I have all of it and then talk about it all at once. We'll see. Depends on how my store goes about getting it to me. But anyway, we got a pretty good-sized week this week, so let's go ahead and get into it with the last thing I read, which is Sam Wilson, Captain America, number 12. And this has Civil War 2 on the front of it. It's not really that big a deal. They mention it like once or twice. And yeah, this continues to be one of the best things out. Just about Sam Wilson trying not to feed into either side of just blind rage, justified or not, but blind rage at a corrupt system, because all that can happen when a system that corrupt is that powerful is people getting hurt. There will be no success from it. Or to, just fight against it too. So he's just trying to take a middle ground, but it's really, really not working out for him, and he's trying his best to just, mediate as opposed to fight. And meanwhile, U.S. agent has been brought in by a bunch of billionaires and stuff to, take the shield back from Sam and give it to Steve Rogers. And my God, this next issue is going to be intense, because he doesn't really want to do that, and he is a pretty right-wing guy, but still a sensible human being, and he's just not, to a certain extent. He's just not, having it at first, but then sees Sam fighting the AmeriCops, and he's done. He's like, no, this isn't going to happen, so he's putting himself in the line. Yeah, really, really interesting stuff going on this week. And just, damn. You can just taste the political commentary. All the evil rich guys are evil and rich, and they're all from Texas. This book has been criticized for being too left-wing, or both Cat books for that matter, being way too left-wing, and it's just not respecting a conservative viewpoint at all. It's not saying anything about conservatism. It's pretty openly talking about fascism and what happens when things go too far right and we stop questioning things and we stop being willing to speak out against things, being willing to talk about things, and just turn straight to violence. Because Sam has not been a violent person. He doesn't like violence. He doesn't want to have fights. He's just trying his best to get people to listen to reason, while the people he's fighting are flooding things with ignorance and propaganda. So it's not about being anti-conservative. It's about being anti-fascist. And I don't know, I think it's a really interesting book so far. I can't believe Nick Spencer is getting so much hate for writing such a damn good comic. 2 amazing comics with Captain America. And I like it. Captain America is the most politically relevant book right now, and that's important. And it should be. Very politically heavy week this week, if you looked at the thumbnail. So, strap in. Yeah, good-ass book. That was a lazy clap. Let me get that. There we go. Got another clap. And speaking of good-ass books, Batman number 5. Man, why you gotta make me sad, Tom King? Why you gotta write something that's so good but makes me sad? Come on, Tom King. The hell? That's genius, but it's just sad. Naming a character Gotham and telling Batman to kill him, and just, there's so many layers to this. Just, god Goddamn, Tom King. Goddamn. Also, the explanation for how Gotham and Gotham Girl's powers works kind of interesting. I like that. I like that the Justice League shows up to save Batman and just ends up getting destroyed anyway. That was really cool. I love what they're doing with Thomas. Yeah, it took me a minute to remember his name. I love what they're doing with Thomas, though. He is a very compassionate person, is very down to earth, and I'm really enjoying that about it. Man. This is good. You want to kill Gotham for being weak, for being afraid, for failing again and again and again. I am Gotham, kill me. Man! Can we just, like, take... Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 panels. Can that just be a poster? 'Cause... Damn! The whole section of the speech he gives... Gotham is talking about killing Gotham. The layers I was speaking about. Fine, do it then. Kill Gotham. But this city, it's just brick and concrete. It didn't free the pirate or hurt those soldiers, and it damn well didn't murder your parents. The pirate was here because I couldn't stop the chaos that bleeds this city. You hurt those soldiers because I told you to fly to them. And you and your parents, they were murdered because I couldn't save them. You want to kill Gotham for being weak, for being afraid, for failing again and again and again? I am Gotham. Kill me. Just the way Bruce is facing his mortality in here, I love it. That he is putting his life on the line and is willing to accept dying over and over again in this series is amazing. Gotham's response to that is yes, yes, yes. From the beginning, the alley, a man, a mask, you. I don't need to destroy the city. I need to destroy you. Goodbye, Batman. Goodbye, Gotham. Wow. Just wow. This is so good. And then Gotham Girl shows up at the last minute to save him and ends up killing her brother in the process. Heavy shit. Heavy shit. Really hard to read this. It's so good, but it's so sad. Why? One of the best Batman books that we've had in years. Yeah. The best run so far, and we're only 5 issues in since Morrison's. That's amazing. Tom King can leave after 12 issues if he wants, because this has been a fantastic run so far. Give me a year's worth of issues, and I'll accept it. Just wow. Alright. Let's go ahead and move on to Kong of Skull Island, number 2 of 6. I like this issue. I'm liking where the story's going. There is... I need to read this a second time. Because there's just a lot of things happening in this issue. There are basically like 3 different stories, and each of them is skipping a fairly large amount of time, scene to scene. And so it just makes it kind of difficult to keep track of what's going on. The art's really, really sketchy, too, so that makes it kind of more difficult to tell who's who. But I am enjoying it. It's well written, and again, they open with just some amazing action that's really, really cool, really engaging right away. And then we get some more, societal stuff back and forths, and tensions are rising and things. And now, this is a really cool visual, by the way. I really like that. 4 Kongs carrying a golden throne that a wedding was performed on through a giant crowd of people is really cool. But yeah, stuff is escalating quickly, things are going wrong very fast, and I guess what we're getting here is an origin to why there are people on Skull Island. And that's really interesting. Because if I'm going to theorize, blah, 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 that's what you come to comic reviews for, to hear someone talk intelligently in jumbled words. If I were to theorize, I still didn't say it right, but fuck it, we're moving on close enough. I think what's going to happen is this island is blowing up, so everyone is going to pile onto these boats, as many people as we can, with a number of Kongs. And they are going to get to the island, or they're going to go and the winds are just going to take them right back to Skull Island. They have no way to get away from it. So they're going to get to Skull Island, be shipwrecked completely, not be able to get off, and then have to put all their resources and Kongs into just trying to survive. So the Kongs are going to be battling. They're going to be the heroes of the people, as it were. Until there's just, until the Kongs become dissatisfied with their living conditions and start to make demands of the people. So we're going to see the culture decline into a very tribalistic, completely, they're going to decline to the point where they're worshipping the things that they created. And I think that'll be really interesting. That's just my guesstimate right now. And that's how I'm going to predict people are able to survive on Skull Island at all. We'll see, though. Looks good. Excited to keep going. Let's go ahead and move on to Star Wars Poe Dameron, number 5. This is fun. I'm liking this story a lot now. Just shit is going sideways, and that's fantastic. Everyone's playing everyone. The thing I like most about this issue, though, is we should really retitle this book to Star Wars Poe Dameron and BB-8. Because there's, whole sections of this where BB-8 leads a bunch of astro droids to commit espionage and help break Gracchus the Hutt out of prison. And we get a little BB-8 lighter thumbs up, so that's cool. Yeah, it's just awesome. And then shit starts to go down at the last minute, as always. This just really ramping up big time, and we're left with a really oh shit kind of moment. I just wish somehow or another we'd started here, because that first story arc does not do how good this just became. That doesn't do how good just these last 2 issues have been justice. It doesn't do the title of the book justice, even though it's only been, we still outweigh the, at the moment, we still outweigh the bad issues with good issues with bad issues. We're still toward the bad issues where it's a problem. God, I cannot talk today. I'm sorry. But man, these last 2 have been great. It's just fun. It's like Ocean's 11 or Prison Break or whatever in space. Good stuff. And then let's talk about Black Hammer number 2, which is the last single issue of the week. Yes, I did decide to add this, and I'm glad I did, because we get a Shazam ripoff that is, of course, tragic and creepy and sad. It's kind of like the reverse of Shazam, where Billy Batson yells Shazam and becomes, the grown man Captain Marvel. Well, what's her name in this? Gail Gibbons. Gail Gibbons yells Zafram, subtle, and turns into Golden Gal, right? That's the name? Yeah, so she yells Zafram and turns into a, prepubescent girl. And we get, like, some flashbacks to the Golden Age, Spiral City in the Golden Age, and there's, a giant robot attacking the city. And teenage Gale wonders if she should transform or not, because if she does, then all of her college friends will see her be a little girl, and that'll be so totes embarrassing. So it really does feel like a Golden Age comic at that point, where it's, people are dying. Oh no, but this cute boy will see me. I can't have that. It's very Golden Age in that way. And then it, like, takes a drastic turn where we go back to the present, and she's a 9-year-old smoking in the bathroom. And the principal catches her. So that was great. Oh, man. This is good shit. Sorry, tired. I really like this section of panels we get where we see her age. There was a time when I hated being Golden Gale. I almost quit. I was growing up and I despised turning back into a kid. But by the time the 70s rolled around, I wasn't just getting older, I was getting old. The older I got, the more I started to enjoy being Golden Gale again. It was like mainlining your own personal fountain of youth. And as long as it was just for a little while, it was great. But then we came here, and the magic word didn't work anymore. The wizard lied to me, Abe. The magic word isn't a gift. It's a goddamn curse. The farm, the town, whatever it is. It's not the prison, Abe. This body is. And I keep thinking, if I just believe hard enough, if I just keep saying it one of these times, it will work, and I'll be me again. Zafram, 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 as she just starts, like, yelling and crying. It's really good. It's really good writing. It's so fucking twisted. Alan Moore, eat your heart out, except it's written competently. Nah, it's not. That's an unfair dig at Alan Moore. God. Yeah, Alan Moore, eat your heart out. Someone's catching up to you. Good-ass book. I highly recommend picking it up. Why don't you ever see quotes like that on the back of books and movies? Good-ass film. I'd go see a movie if they advertised it if, like, one of the reviewing quotes was good-ass film. Would you? Leave your comments below. Alright. Let's go ahead and move on to the trade for this week. And this is, of course, not a trade. This is a collection. I'm going to keep doing this because it's a good workout. Really gets the shoulder muscles moving. Yes, so we're going to be talking about the Boondocks, A Right to Be Hostile. This is the Boondocks Treasury, a collection of a lot of Boondocks comic strips. And just, damn, this is good. So the Boondocks ran from 1999 to 2003, 2004. And then in 2005 is when we got the first season of the show. And yeah, so how could a daily newspaper strip that ran, once again, from 1999 to 2003 be relevant in 2016? And while there are certainly strips that refer to cultural events that no longer really matter, or don't really, I don't even remember, to be honest. I don't even know what Puff Daddy got arrested for. And it's that old, they call him Puff Daddy. I don't even know what Puff Daddy got arrested for. I really don't. I just didn't care at that time. I was too young to give a fuck. Nor did I listen to his music anyway. So I don't know what he got arrested for. There's like 3 or 4 strips that deal with him being arrested for something, and they don't feel the need to explain it. So yeah, there are some strips that are really dated. Don't really have anything to do with what's going on anymore. Not as many as there should be. Steve and I did a Geeky Gentleman a couple months ago, or just last month, July 4th was when it was posted, on the albums American Idiot and An American Prayer. And we talked for quite a while about American Idiot and how, like, its biggest problem is that it wasn't very timeless, that, like, it stopped really mattering once we got out of the Bush presidency. And boy, did it used to seem that way. But the whole point we made with that album is it's just as relevant, maybe even more so today. And I guess anytime the far right is in power, it'll be more relevant. And that's terrifying. Far right, not even in power, just in prominence, it'll be more relevant. Exactly what is going on with this book. All the political stuff, the vast majority of political stuff, is still completely applicable. It all still reads just the same. Nothing about the politics in this feel dated or unnuanced because we've come so far. There are just random strips in here that I read and I'm like, wow. Okay then. Here's a good one. For those that don't know, Alan Keyes was a man running for president in 1999. He was a black man running in the conservative Republican Party. And he said a lot of stupid things, like, oh, I don't believe in affirmative action and all this other crap. So here's a strip. We got a news... The boys or granddad aren't even in this. It's just news reporter and people she's interviewing. So as we continue our look at the Alan Keyes campaign, we return to New Hampshire, where we asked Republicans to give their impressions of the man. First woman: well, I thought he was great. I'm very pro-life, and I just think he had so many wonderful ideas. Really? Did you vote for him? Vote for Keyes? Oh my goodness, no. I mean, I liked him and everything, but I'm a Republican, and he's, well, you know. Next old man: Alan Keyes, fine man, good conservative views. Wish we had more like him. Pro-military, pro-guns. That's what I look for in a president. Interesting. Did you vote for him? No. Oh, ma'am, fine man, I'm sure, but how would I explain that to my grandkids? Final man: Keyes? Hey, he's against affirmative action, and so am I. I'm tired of these quotas for blacks. I applaud him, definitely. I see. So, did you vote for him? Yeah, right, lady. Him plaid monkeys fly right out of my derriere and break dance. What, are you new to politics? That's all from New Hampshire. Back to you, Bob. This is the Republican Party, not the Urban League. Oh, how things have changed. What with their protest signs against the man who isn't their president. I think I skipped a really good one, too. It was with Tom and Huey. And then there are issues about diversity that are often addressed in this, that deal with how people interpret things, and once again, still very relevant. Here's Tom and Huey talking. Listen, and this is about Jasmine, Huey's next-door neighbor, Tom's daughter, who is of mixed race. Listen, Huey, you have to try to understand how sensitive Jasmine is about her hair. She sees her mom's hair, and she doesn't understand why her hair doesn't look the same way. My wife doesn't have a clue what to do with it, and neither do I. Meanwhile, we've tried everything to straighten it. Every hair relaxer ever made. Nothing works. Have you tried emphasizing the natural beauty of her African features? Or how about lie, burn her hair straight, like the old days? That might work. Once again, diversity is not about fitting in with the rest. Diversity is about accepting others into the group, about not being exclusionary. That's a very relevant strip to this till this day. Great strip. And then there's just other stuff that are about systematic problems. I know, systematic problems, I fucking liberal, whatever. Okay, let's just take a random one where Huey gets to meet his teacher. Huey, this is Mr. Petto, your new teacher. Nice to meet you, Huey. Mr. Petto, public education facilities such as this are the cornerstone of institutionalized racism that continues to oppress black people. Not only will I refuse to succumb to your brainwashing, I will dedicate myself to the eventual elimination of this abomination to the high pursuit of learning. I quit effective immediately. Nonsense. Looks like it's going to be a great year. Have fun, boys. Yeah, just Huey dealt with all the Huey dealing with the way the American school system is set up to brainwash people as opposed to make them learn. Huey and Granddad. School starts in a couple weeks. Huey, excited? What? Hold up, I thought we agreed that I would be homeschooled. We never talked about that. Yes, we did. Remember I was explaining to you the white man's conspiracy to brainwash me with his Eurocentrism? Oh, maybe we did talk about it. I have a tendency to tune you out whenever you say the words the white man's conspiracy. See, Granddad, I need homeschooling. There's so much that I want to learn that no American school will ever teach me. Like what? Like how to overthrow an imperialist capitalist regime and replace it with a socialist system which recognizes and protects the collective good against personal avarice. And I'm supposed to teach you that? Hey, I know you used to be radical. I've seen pictures. You owned one dashiki 30 years ago and nobody lets you forget it. Again, I'm just having fun reading this stuff. It's just so amazing how much Magruder tapped into something very, very potent that we're still dealing with. That is this idea that, oh, we've moved past that, we're beyond this now, and we're really not. These are still problems. I really, really like this one. I might get this like printed out or cut this out of the book even. Here's Huey getting ready for to go to school, and he's got his world history textbook on the table in front of him in every single one of these panels. Let's see, you got to make sure I got everything for school. I have the ISIS Papers by Dr. Welsing. I've got my autobiography of Angela Davis. I've got my Wretched of the Earth. I've got Behold a Pale Horse. I've got How Whitey Done Messed Everything Up. I've got my new copy of Every President Lies to Black Folks. It just seems like I'm forgetting something. Oh well, probably wasn't that important anyway. Again, it's Huey in class. Same page. Huey, could you start reading at the top of page 46, please? Alright. So once you comprehend the threat an educated black man poses to the global system of white supremacy, you can understand why the educational system as an institution is designed to suppress and even annihilate the mental elevation of the African child. Thank you. Now will someone please read from page 46 in our textbook? Well, next time be specific. I can't read minds. Oh, Huey's the best. I loved the show. It was just way too bad that that they started focusing less and less on Huey as the show went on. It was so good, but damn. I loved it when Huey was the one they were focusing on. There's also some clever uses of just the way he did the strip. Let's see if I can find something. Like, there's pretty famously he used flaggy and ribbon, and I'll read some of those panels too. But I'm just trying to see if I can find some of the more like direct uses of being really clever with how he used the strip. It's hard to find. There we go. So let's look at this top panel here. You can see that a conversation is happening. It's just you can't tell what they're saying except for the first few words. Well, I don't understand. It's simple. The man doesn't. Well, they can just kiss. And then we have censored. This comic contains numerous references to the DECSS code used to bypass the content scrambling system of DVDs, which, by order of Judge Louis Kaplan, is illegal to reproduce in any way. We apologize for the inconvenience, but speech that damages the profits of our corporate friends is not protected by the First Amendment. Thank you. Next panel down below. Mr. Pedo, I have a question. Yes. Why is it perfectly legal to post a diagram of how to build a bomb on the net, but you can't post a code that descrambles DVDs? Censored. We just don't like where he's going with this. There's a lot of stuff just like about the way that, things that are inherently corporate but are supposed to serve a more moral purpose are very corruptible. And as someone that works at a television news station, you can bet your ass that's still a problem. Just in the day-to-day, like we have news episodes where we go on after like a baseball or football game, and since those can go long, we have to cut certain things out of the show because we need to fill until this certain time, and that's fine. That's understandable. You got to work within the scheduling. But what we're supposed to cut and what we're supposed to keep is really, really iffy, because there's a sponsored section that's just like, basically a health story. It just tells you some basic tips about health, and we're not supposed to get rid of that, even if we have things related to business, the economy, other, hard news that would be more important. We're not supposed to get rid of the health because the health is sponsored. The health story has, corporate sponsorship behind it. Whereas the other stories, even though they might be more important, even though there might be more of a journalistic need to show them, aren't. So just in the day-to-day, there's corruption, and it's corruption in service of money, and you're just, the reporters, the show producers, are mandated to follow that. And so this idea of things like him playing with the idea of being censored, just tiptoeing around it, poking fun out of it, is still 100% relevant today, and I'm amazed how much of this stuck. And there's a lot of talk about just black culture, and the thing that people say about Boondocks is, oh, it's only for black people. And it's really not. It's definitely applies to black people more than any other group, but anyone from any minority group can easily identify with a lot of what's going on in this. And that's really, really fascinating, is that you can still pick up what he's doing. You can still, even though you may not be black, or even if you're not a minority, just if you understand the problems that he's addressing, the just ideas of anti-intellectualism, there's a lot in this for you. So that's really interesting. And now we have some strips from post 9/11. And if you remember, in a post 9/11 world, you couldn't criticize the government for doing anything. You couldn't criticize anything anymore because, we've been attacked. And so the Boondocks actually came up under a lot of heat for not standing with the president. Editor's note. The Boondocks is being replaced this week with The Adventures of Flagging Ribbon, a hilariously patriotic new offering. Why do people do bad things to America, Flaggy? Because they hate our freedoms, Ribbon. They hate our right to privacy. They hate our right to free speech. Editor's note continued. Those of you who have written demanding the return of the Boondocks, your names have been forwarded to the FBI. For the select few who are not daily readers of the comics, the Boondocks has been indefinitely replaced by the uproarious fun of the adventures of Flaggy and Ribbon. Hey Flaggy, I heard someone on the radio say that if we kill innocent people, we're no better than the terrorists. That's left-wing, radical hippie, communist thinking, Ribbon. You talk like that again, I'll have to drag you out into the street and shoot you myself. Yes, Flaggy. Editor's note. Welcome, Americans. As part of the efforts to support national unity, we are temporarily replacing the Boondocks with the adventures of Flaggy and Ribbon. Today, Flaggy and his trusty sidekick, Ribbon, tackle the issue of what can I do? Hey, Flaggy, I've been wondering, what can I do to fight terrorism? Well, Ribbon, an important part of fighting terrorism is supporting the economy. Go out and spend some money. Kids, what better way to spend that money than on an official Flaggy and Ribbon Osama bin Laden is a punk t-shirt? Tell bin Laden what a punk he is, just $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling. Order today. Operators are standing by. Some of the money will go to help out charity or something. Editor's note. Despite the tremendous reader response to The Adventures of Flaggy and Ribbon, we have decided to bring back the Boondocks on a probationary basis. However, should the material be deemed inappropriate, we are prepared to bring back Flaggy and the Ribbon at a moment's notice. United we stand. Mr. Petto, how come nobody is talking about the ways that Bush's big oil compadres will benefit from this war on terrorism? Hey, Flaggy, can we sing the Star-Spangled Banner again? Of course, Ribbon, it's our national anthem. So once again, really playing with what you can do with a comic strip. And that's really fun. I'm going to see if I can find the strip that probably made me laugh the hardest. It's Huey calling the FBI's terrorist tip line. Did I pass it? See Huey on the phone. Did I miss it? I know, watching me flip through a comic book might just be the most fascinating part of this show. I hope you don't mind. I just really like so many of the strips here, and I think they're so short and so complete that I think the best way to talk about the book is to just talk about, hey, you remember this? Huey calls the FBI's terrorism tip line. I'm very serious. I know of several Americans who have helped train and finance Osama bin Laden. And how did you come by this information? A little investigating. It wasn't that hard, actually. Okay, give me some names. Alright, let's see here. The first one is Reagan. That's R-E-A-G. Hello? Hello? Huey squeals to the Fed's terrorism hotline. Why do you keep hanging up on me? I'm telling the truth. The CIA trained Osama bin Laden in using terrorism against the Soviets during the Reagan-Bush administration. They gave the Afghanistan rebels countless amounts of covert funding. Don't you have better things to be doing? Better than fighting terrorism? Heck no, we're at war! Huey helps the FBI wage war on terrorism. Wait, before you hang up, I have one more important tip. G.W. Bush gave the Taliban government $43 million this May. This May! How much of that money will be spent on weaponry that will be used against U.S. soldiers? Well, I didn't know that. He lives at 1600 Pennsylvania. Hey, are you writing this down? And I suggest bringing really tight handcuffs. Didn't know that? Did you? Educational. Still pretty damn relevant. I highly suggest reading the Boondocks. I wonder if their website's still up and running. I'm pretty sure you can just read all of them on the website. I'm really glad I bought this. I got this for like $4 too on Amazon, so that was a good ass deal. But like as poignant and as pointed as some of these stories are, there are still moments of levity that are just a lot of fun, and it knows how to take itself not too seriously. It knows how to just tell a good joke, be funny, and doesn't even have to have anything to do with the race or the politics or whatever else is the hot topic of the week. I'm trying to find the one that I really, really enjoyed. Not everyone's going to get it, but Just think Peanuts. Where's it at? Missed it. It's one of the colored strips, too. The colored strips are really cool, actually. I don't like how the colored strips are placed in the collection, though. That does bother me. Just because I feel like they kind of break up the flow of a lot of the story, even though they're not always related or often aren't related to the rest of the story. Because, like, the strips go day by day. They're the dailies. But the colored strips seem to be, like, maybe every month's worth of stories. So they kind of, like, skip entire days or entire story arcs or skip over and start addressing something that we've already gone over. Damn, I can't find this stupid strip. Oh, here we go. So we got Huey reading a newspaper. Hears a sound out the window. Sighs, because Huey sighs often. And he walks out there, sees their neighbor Cindy with a football. She says, "Hi, Huey." He says, "Sigh." Riley is lying on the ground, and Huey throws the newspaper on him as Riley's lying on the ground. But how was I supposed to know she would read, dummy? Peanuts, you'll get the joke. So it knows how to have a lot of fun from time to time. Here's another good one with just Caesar. I was so sad they never brought Caesar in the show. I loved Caesar. Here's a good one with Caesar and Riley. "Hey, Caesar, I heard your mom's was Martin Lawrence's stunt double in Big Mama's house." Well, okay. That's why your breath smells like Altoids in reverse. What? Okay, well, that's why your, cousin, I mean your mom's, punk. Brooklyn, baby, well, what? Love it. Just love it. That's fun. It just knows how to have fun. It just knows when to, kind of deviate from the political stuff and just, give a good laugh here and there. Just be clever. Just enjoy itself. And that's really fun to read, too. Huey really is the main focus of this, so that's great. For someone who liked the Boondocks, but always felt a little disappointed that they stopped focusing on Huey, going back and reading the original strips is a lot of fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can say about this, because as fun as it is, I would love to just sit here and read strips to you all day. I have a feeling that, I'm just kind of giving you the book without you going out and just getting the book. So I don't want to do that all day. And believe me, I didn't even read some of my favorites. This shit is hilarious. Really good book. Really good comic series. I really wish they'd bring it back. I don't think they ever will, but I really wish they'd bring it back. What can you do? Oh well. That'll do it for this week's episode of Comic Reviews, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm Sid Pritchett.